You wake up and the world is a crazy supermarket. What coffee should you drink? Which gym should you go to? Which profession should you choose from among thousands? We live in the richest society in history, but we have never been so paralyzed. Every choice you make is a time bomb. This is called the paradox of choice. The more freedom you have, the less free you feel. We think we need the next opportunity, but in reality, our psyche collapses under the weight of the paths we haven't chosen. By the end of this video, you'll learn to dismiss 90% of useless decisions, reduce anxiety, and finally find harmony. Today we will examine the neurobiology of regret, why every choice is accompanied by pain. Reveal Aristotle's 3 rules for making the perfect, rational choice. And finally, implement the SMART limitation system, which will rid you of analysis paralysis forever. Our guide is Aristotle. He lived in Athens, where even the market didn't have 100 varieties of cheese. But he saw what we are only seeing now. Happiness lies not in maximization, but in limitation. His method, the middle way, is what we will make our final conclusion. The neurobiology of regret. Psychologists divide people into satisfiers and maximizers. A satisfier looks for what is good enough. He buys the first suitable phone and moves on. A maximizer looks only for the best solution, reading 800 reviews only to regret his choice in the end. What is the scientific problem with maximization? Every time we make a choice, we activate the orbitofrontal cortex, OFC, which processes the value of the choice. But when there are too many choices, the OFC becomes overloaded, causing analytical paralysis, a state in which action is more costly than inaction. This is a real trap. Our brain not only expends energy on the choice itself, but also on regretting the opportunities we have discarded. Psychologists prove that maximizers are less happy and more prone to clinical depression. A real-life example. Imagine yourself in the shoes of a young American. 300 types of cookies, 700 TV channels, 4,000 universities. He makes a choice but sees that his neighbor made a better one. The choice brings no joy. This was a problem even in ancient times. And I guarantee that right now you are using one invisible criterion that is guaranteed to ruin your whole life. A little later, I will show you what this criterion is and how Aristotle solved this problem by creating a system that has been considered ideal for 2,300 years. But first, Aristotle's rules. The ethics of choice. In his Nicomachean Ethics, Aristotle proposed a system that eliminates the paradox of choice. He said that true virtue is the middle path between extremes. Rule 1. 2 extremes. The pendulum method. Aristotle's principle. The best choice lies not in extremes but exactly in the middle. Example. If you need to be brave, do not strive for extremes, recklessness. Do not strive for the other extreme, cowardice either. The middle way is reasonable courage. Practice. When you make a choice, e.g. an investment, always outline the 2 extremes, risk rejection. Your decision should be in the middle, a balanced risk. Rule 2. Choose the goal, not the means. We get lost in choosing tools, means. Which course to buy, which laptop? Aristotle demanded that we focus only on the ultimate goal, eudaimonia charge happiness. Practice. Before making a choice, ask yourself, what is my main goal? If the goal is to become healthy, then the question is not which gym is better, but which one is more accessible, means. so that you can use it regularly. Goal. This instantly eliminates 90% of useless options. Rule 3. The unchosen choice. Conscious limitation. We are afraid to close doors. Aristotle believed that life is a process of exclusion. When you choose one thing, you must celebrate discarding another because it frees up energy. Mental exercise. Think of several paths you could have chosen but did not. Consciously say, I discard this path to strengthen my own. The SMART limitation system. Practice. To overcome paralysis, we must eliminate choice from the process. Choice consumes the muscle memory of decisions. The choice algorithm, 3 questions. Every time you are faced with a choice, from a menu to a job, ask yourself these 3 questions in order. 1. Is it irreversible? If the choice is reversible, which movie to watch? Choose randomly and quickly. If it is irreversible, buying a house, take your time. This removes 90% of the pressure. 2. How does this fit with my top 3 goals? Aristotle insisted on priorities. If the choice doesn't fit with your main goal, career, health, family, discard it without thinking. This is the duty criterion. 3. Can I make this a standard? Don't choose a vacation, choose a vacation system. Don't choose a dress, choose a style. Aristotle. Virtue is a habit. Eliminate 90% of small decisions every day by reducing them to standards. These 3 questions will already save your psyche, but there is one most unexpected criterion for choice that our modern culture categorically forbids us to use. This criterion is what distinguished rich aristocrats from poor artisans and allowed them to be happy despite the chaos. Remember the maximizer? Our culture is saturated with him. Strive for the best. Live 100%. All or nothing. This is a lie. The best entrepreneurs and scientists, including Nobel laureate Herbert Simon, have argued that success comes not from maximization, but from satisfaction. An entrepreneur who spends 3 months choosing the perfect logo loses out to someone who chose a good enough one in 3 days and started taking action. This is accepting satisfaction. In ancient Greece, no one expected the perfect solution. The goal was to align virtue and duty, not to achieve the best result in the world. This criterion frees you from the pain of regret. We started in a crazy supermarket. Now you know, the problem is not freedom, but our obsession with maximization and fear of regret. Aristotle's method is the middle way, which gives you back control. Choice is not a burden. Choice is a process of elimination that leads to clarity. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Right now, you're faced with a choice. Close this video and return to chaos, or use the rule of 2 extremes for the most important decision you have been putting off. Choose one extreme, then the other, and then find the middle ground. Write in the comments what your middle ground is.